Hello again, I'm David Stodoe for Stodoe Studios. Welcome to this behind the scenes look at I Am Art. I Am Art is a totally different cartoon than the ones I've done in the past on so many levels. First off, it's not a parody like I usually do. Well, it is a parody, but it's more a parody on life and the characters that you meet when you go to a museum or an art gallery. Have you ever looked at a piece of art and really didn't understand what you were looking at? Or hated a piece of art so much just because of how much it cost when you could easily do it when you were 3 years old? Do you ever roll your eyes at people who think they know exactly what the artist was thinking when they painted it, but really they're full of crap and they just want to throw their theories out there to sound smart? To me, art isn't just what the artists have created. It's also the reactions that the art gets once it's released to the public. I Am Art is also a little bit of a parody on those dull, artsy animated films that are trying to be so deep that they completely lose their audience. You know, the ones that are monotone and mixed media, and the ones that you sit there thinking, why did I buy a ticket to this, can I just leave now? I approached I Am Art in a totally different way this time. I did the usual script writing and then I recorded the audio, but this time I didn't do any planning. I had no idea what I was about to animate. To character those really artsy mixed media films, I wanted the freedom to just animate whatever came to me at that exact moment. Once I had the audio edited exactly how I wanted, I literally started animating on frame 1 and just went blindly ahead. I wanted it to look really organic and blend from one scene to the next without any premeditated camera cuts. It was actually a lot of fun trying to find new ways to transition from one scene into the next, from taking characters and morphing them into other characters, or taking background elements and sliding them in and out to going into the next shot. I actually had a lot of fun with those, and some of the ones that I enjoyed doing was the cow turning into the paintbrush, as well as the dancer girl turning into the thinker statue. That was actually a lot of fun, just trying to figure out new ways to do it. By the way, the joke about the artist who paints cows out of cow crap, that's an actual real thing. There's an artist in Europe that goes around and finds puddles of cow poo and paints cows with it. One other thing that I did different was I kept all the animation rough. I did this to keep that kind of artsy feel that I was trying to caricature. When it came to the character designs, I really had a hard time since I didn't plan my animation at all. I just had to start animating a character that I had never drawn before. Usually I create a model sheet for all my characters so I can learn how to draw them from all different angles. Again, it was fun to not be tied down to a certain design, but it did prove to be tough to keep a character on model because it had no model. You can see them change from frame to frame all over the place. This is the first film that I used live action reference for a couple shots. Because I had deadlines every night that I was working on it, but no preconceived ideas of how I was going to animate it, I found myself stuck for ideas sometimes. I didn't copy the reference frame for frame. I just bring it up and look at it and analyze it and get ideas for posing and for timing. Usually I break my films up into shots and work on each one like 30 frames here, 100 frames here. The most max I've done on my shorts are 350 frames. But this one, because it was from start to finish, it ended up being about 1,600 frames, 1,600 to 2,000 frames, all one shot, with just transitions in the middle. I actually had a ton of other jokes that I had written and recorded, but after showing it to other people, it was decided that it was too long, and I cut out about half of my jokes just to keep the pacing strong. I Am Art was a totally different type of film for me, and it was very freeing to just animate without having any preconceived ideas what it would look like before I started. So it isn't necessarily a style I would do in all my cartoons. I like trying new styles all the time, but it was definitely a fun project to do. I hope you like this behind the scenes look at I Am Art, and be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of my animation on stodostudios.com. Keep up to date on new cartoons by following me on Twitter. If you have any questions or want to talk about anything in more detail, like me on Facebook at facebook.com/stodostudios. See you next time.